It's great to be joined by former Maryland governor and former 2016 Democratic presidential candidate, Martin O'Malley. Governor, let's just jump in. The vice presidential debate, what did you think?
I thought that Tim Kaine, from my perspective, did what he needed to do. He defended not only Hillary Clinton and her vision, but he prosecuted Donald Trump in ways that his opponent really couldn't defend except to falsely say Donald Trump had never said these things. I don't know about you, David, but I thought it was bizarre that Mike Pence could keep shaking his head and say that Donald Trump didn't say things that all of us have been seeing him say on television for the last 3 or 4 months. You wonder if they've banned Pence from watching television since he joined the ticket. But I thought Kaine did a very good job. And one thing that he did that had never happened before on a debate stage was he prosecuted the huge amount of Russian money that's been going in to Trump enterprises and the connections, if you will, that makes Donald Trump the willing dupe for the interests of Vladimir Putin.
Yeah, I mean,
I
the thing
think
is, though, in these debates, I mean, I completely agree with your assessment that Mike Pence didn't defend the indefensible because there's just absolutely no way. So he said, oh, we never said that stuff. But I'm curious on your view as someone who's been both a participant and observer of these debates for a long time. Many people wrote to me saying that on substance, of course, Kaine absolutely clobbered Pence, but that the optics were that Pence was engaging with the camera in a way that was more pleasing to the audience. At times when Pence would just lie, Kaine would seem sort of visibly distraught and jittery and unsure of where to look. These issues do impact a viewer's perception of who does better or worse, don't they?
Well, I think that's fair. I mean, on substance, clearly Tim Kaine won the debate, and on style, I can see why people would give it to Pence. He's a rather cool character. I served with him in the National Governors Association.
Yeah.
In fact, I served with Tim Kaine as a neighboring governor. But I do think that ultimately, I think substance prevails. And I think that people saw Tim Kaine who was more animated than usual. But then again, you know what? Maybe Democrats need to get a lot more animated than they've been through the course of this race so far. And maybe it's good that we see Tim Kaine having some fight and feistiness and going after these guys.
Well, along those lines, I was super interested in the dynamic in the debates with Secretary Clinton and Senator Sanders and you during the Democratic primary. And of course, there was no question to anybody who watched that there was no deficit on your behalf in terms of an understanding of the issues. In looking back, when we talk about energy and optics and substance, as you sort of Monday morning quarterback your campaign, why do you think you ultimately didn't connect with voters in a way that led to more polling support?
Oh, wow. You have time for a beer? We could unpack all of that. Let me give you the short non-alcohol radio version.
Please.
There was a tremendous amount of angst, anger, profound desire to protest that affected the entire electorate this year. I kept hearing before I ran for president, people say we need a change, we need a change. But I underestimated just how much people wanted to pull their car into the angry lane, park it, and throw the keys out the window. That came to that desire, that sense that our politicians aren't listening, therefore we need to break the kitchen table, manifested itself in the Republican Party with the rise of Donald Trump, the first time that a third-party candidate or candidate from outside the party has taken over the Republican Party and makes these overtly racist and fascist appeals that just made his popularity soar. Vice President Gore described it to me this way. He said that the most revealing interview he saw was a lifelong Democrat asking why he's voting for Donald Trump. And this blue-collar guy said, because my country's got cancer, and Donald Trump's just the chemotherapy we need. Hard to disqualify chemotherapy by simply calling it poison repeatedly. Yeah. What people are looking for and what Hillary Clinton has to offer are the actions that we can take together that will complete this story of America's recovery in such a way that not only is our country doing better by creating more jobs, but families are doing better by creating more income. We need to make wages go up and not down. And that's, I believe, the task before Hillary Clinton in this next debate. We certainly had a lot of people in our primaries that also just wanted to break the kitchen table. But breaking the kitchen table doesn't put food on it.
Is that a
more
reference to
affordable
Bernie
does.
Sanders? I mean, is that certainly the dynamic of the Sanders campaign was, yes, damn right, people should be angry. Is that what sort of you're referring to?
Yes, I am, and I think it was as Donald Trump's appeal was also complicated by racial fears and fear of the world and xenophobia. I think that part of the appeal on the left and our party was also fueled by Donald Trump's rise and by our failure to debate him or to take the debate stage ourselves as Democrats from June through October as he rose. And a lot of people in our party thought, well, if we're not going to have a more contested primary, the only thing left to do is to protest both the front-running candidate and also the rise of Donald Trump. I think Bernie Sanders made some really good points in the primary. They were points that he's been making for 40 years about income inequality, and he really had that message honed to a fine tune. And this platform has been informed by our primary. Hillary Clinton took the best ideas that Bernie Sanders and I had to offer on affordable college. The platform also incorporates something I advanced throughout that campaign of a clean energy grid by 2050 for the United States of America. For the first time, we are advocating in our party's platform repeal of the death penalty. So our party's contest was one of ideas. And in this year of anger and protest, the ideas, while we talked about them, motivating us, the hallmark of I think this year will be people's profound desire to protest.
All right, we've been speaking with former Maryland governor and former 2016 Democratic presidential candidate Martin O'Malley. Thanks so much for joining us. We will take a break and be back with more right after this.